I guess I can give you a couple of little vignettes, maybe breach of confidence or two. Uh, but a couple of things. The birth rate had gone down. And so there were fewer children in school, right? And so you had all these schools half full of kids, and which didn't make any sense. And the government was in extremely difficult financial circumstances because, of course, it was the moratorium, which was enormously disruptive in people's lives, but also had a huge impact on the government's fiscal position. And so we couldn't afford to have all those schools half full anymore. It just didn't make any sense. And so there was an effort to consolidate the system. And Mr. Grimes, Roger Grimes, later Premier Grimes, he was the Minister of the Education, made very good faith and extensive efforts to negotiate with what we call the denominational education committees to try to come to an agreement as to the consolidation of schools. We weren't getting the results that we needed. And the government felt that it was at an impasse. And I was in the Premier's office one day. I usually met with him between 9 and 10 in the morning every weekday. And usually Jerry Glavine, who was the chief of staff, Jerry was always there. For some reason, he wasn't there that day. It was just Mr. Tobin and me. And he said to me, Mac, we got to resolve this. We have to achieve these efficiencies. We can't afford it anymore, and it doesn't make any sense. And the kind of attitudes that Newfoundlanders had, it kind of kept people separate from one another. Those attitudes, they're gone, right? Very large measure, they're gone, and it's a good thing. Those sort of divisions in Newfoundland society are behind us. And he said, so it's time to make a break with that. And so he said, we're going to have a referendum. And I sat back in my chair and I said, sir, I understand, but you'd be betting the government. And he said, well, that's what we're going to do. And then I can't remember, it was a Tuesday or Wednesday when we had that very brief conversation. And he walked into cabinet and he told cabinet. So there you go. There's my great indiscretion.